Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and a happy Tuesday to you all. Welcome to Dre Broadcasting as we are bringing you live the AMS Anarchy Motorsports Series Season Finale here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. I'm your commentator, Sean Zulu, and I am accompanied by our main commentator and cameraman, Dave Everly, who at the moment is having some mic problems, but he'll get them fixed as soon as he can. But tonight we have a 125 lap race. That is 125 laps. Looks like Dave is back. You got a cup there, Dave?
I sure do, Sean. Thank you for joining us here tonight at Dre Broadcasting as we are bringing you the Anarchy Motorsports Series Children Dream Racer Cup Series here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And Sean, it should be a good race tonight as we are going to be crowning a champion. As I am currently looking over the current race points, it looks like we have Mike Springer in the lead by 1 point over second place of Dalton Baldwin. And in third place, we have Randy Arms just 2 points back. In fourth place in the current point standing, we have Kevin Trzynski with 14 points behind. And in fifth place, we have Craig Embry only 20 points behind. So we have 5 guys, and actually more than that actually have a chance at winning here tonight. But we are definitely going to be keeping an eye on those top 3, Mike Springer, Dalton Baldwin, and Randy Arms, as I'm sure they will be battling it out to be crowned the Children's Dream Racer Cup Series champion, brought to you by Anarchy Motorsports Series.
Oh, absolutely, Dave. I am glad you mentioned that. And tonight, that does mean that tonight is the season finale of the Anarchy Motorsports Series. Tonight here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, 125 laps, a 70% fuel limit. That is 70%. And Dave, right now I'm looking at that temperature. The track temp is very, very high, and that means a lot of tires tonight. That is 112 degree Fahrenheit track temp.
Oh, most definitely here. So that is going to make these guys have to work that wheel here tonight. They are currently in qualifying here. Right now we've only had 8 drivers put down a qualifying time, so this is going to be a fun, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you've got your drinks filled, your snacks filled, because we are going to bring you all of the laps here and crown a champion here tonight.
And right now, Dave, currently on the pole, we do have the 4 of Dalton Baldwin. He's been a driver who's had a lot of courage this whole entire season. He's been 4 laps down at one point and was able to get all his 4 laps back during that one race, and that was Martinsville, I believe, or if not, Auto Club. Yeah, either one of those two. As we speak right now, we do have these guys now gridding up, so we'll give them a few seconds here to finish gridding up before we start going down that list.
Oh, most definitely here as these guys are already starting to line up on their car here. Sean, I tell you, I'm excited. I'm ready to get green flag racing. I'm ready for the fans to see this, and I'm ready to crown a champion here tonight. After we followed these guys for many races, you know, we've got to see the likes of Dalton Baldwin, Jonathan Schwartz, Mike Springer, Kevin Trzynski, Chris Ostrander, Randy Arms, Hoyt Smith. I mean, we've seen these guys battle it out all season, so I am just anxious as it looks like these guys are about ready here. So we are going to start going over the grid here. As I pull up our starting grid, it looks like Dalton Baldwin will be starting on the pole tonight with a 28.477. Starting in second place is going to be the 58 of Jonathan Schwartz. Starting third is going to be the 32 of Mike Springer. The 82 of Keenan Miller will be starting in your 4th position, and starting 5th is going to be the 12 of Kevin Trzynski.
And the 7 of Thomas Conheady coming down in 6th place. The 57 of Barry Hines in 7th place, and the last car to qualify tonight, the 92 of Hoyt Smith in 8th place with a 29.089. The first car to not qualify is the 87 of Craig Embry in 9th place, and the 8 of Randy Arms right behind him, running up the top 10.
Starting in 11th, I'm not showing any names there, but we have Chris Ostrander starting in 12th position. We have the 66 of John Joyce starting in 13th, and that is going to be our starting lineup as these guys are now getting ready to go green flag racing here at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
And we are showing 13 drivers starting tonight's race, but by the looks of it, we are missing 2 drivers of those 13. So we only have 11 drivers, and the drivers who are missing tonight are the 50 of Mike Otant and the 66 of John Joyce. So tonight is only 11 car field out there for the championship here tonight for the AMS Anarchy Motorsports Series. As we do have the 4 of Dalton Bowden bringing it down to the start-finish line for the first time this time by for the first green flag run. Just like we had said, Dave, it's a long way to go, 125 laps, 70% fuel limit, so they do have to pit at least once in order to be able to make it. So it's going to be very interesting to see.
Well, Sean, the interesting thing here is the pace car, as we look at that new Ford Mustang iRacing paint scheme paint car, bring them here into turn 3, is that we got to remember, guys, we're going to have to hopefully see some green flag pit stops here, as pit stop is going to be key here tonight, as it looks like the pace car is now bringing them through turn number 4 here. I'm ready to get this started. I'm sure every gentleman out behind that wheel has got their nerves, as the pace car is now off, is the 4 of Dalton Baldwin. Keeps him at pace speed here through the dog leg, and he gets hard on that gas, but here comes the 58 of Jonathan Schwartz is going to stay side by side with him, but it looks like 4 of Dalton Baldwin is going to have the preferred line, and he is going to bring the 32 of Mike Springer with him, who's going to get around the 58 of Jonathan Schwartz and overtake that second position.
And that 82 of Keenan Miller falling back in line behind the 58 of Jonathan Schwartz, who's just been bumped back into third place. The 57 of Barry Hines, huge run on the outside line. On the outside of the 82 of Miller is not going to make it stick. Hits that wall, goes hard on the left side. He's making contact with a bunch of cars. That's a big wreck out of turn 4. Couldn't find my words there for a second. That did involve the 73 of Chris Ostrander, the 8 of Randy Arms, the 12 of Kevin Tronzinski, the 92 of Hoyt Smith. That is an early caution.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, due to technical difficulties, we are not going to be able to bring you any instant replays here of the wrecks, so I do apologize. But as we are now looking there at the 57 of Barry Hines here, as it looks like we're going to try to bring him in a little closer here, as he has got some heavy damage to that front end of that Chevy SS of his.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate for all those drivers who were involved, and that's a very early incident here on that was lap 1, exit of turn number 4. So these guys are not even up to speed all the way yet, and that had to happen. But good thing is these guys do have one backup car, so they do have one chance at going out there again and still being competitive.
Oh, most definitely, Sean. There's we see everybody coming down. Looks like the 8 of Randy Arms is coming down for pit road, the 57 of Barry Hines, the 73 of Chris Ostrander, and the 12 of Kevin Tronzinski are down on pit road, as we also see the 92 of Hoyt Smith, who looks like he had to tow, as he has got heavy front end damage as well. That's highly unfortunate here on lap 2 of 125, so we still have 123 laps remaining, but the 4 of Dalton Baldwin and all the race leaders are going to stay out, as they have only got 2 laps on their tires.
And that's a good strategy. It's way too early to end up going down pit road to take any tires and gas for the most part. But maybe it would have been a good idea going down pit road, because they are burning gas doing all these pace laps. They'll most likely do about 2 to 3 pace laps before going green again. And right now we are showing the 92 of Hoyt Smith 1 lap down. Just like you had mentioned, he had no choice but to tow after being involved in that big incident. Just hope he doesn't go any more laps down than that.
Well, Sean, I think once we get the jitters out of these guys, we're going to see a lot of green flag racing. These laps are going to go quick, because looking at our qualifying times there, these guys were running 28-second qualifying times. If they run that during the race, that means for every minute they are going to turn 2 laps here at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Oh, absolutely, Dave. This is a fast track, and already we are back to 1 to green as we speak. And on this lineup, we do have the 4 of Dalton Baldwin still in the race lead. The 32 of Mike Springer starting in second place on the outside, first place on the outside line, but in second place. The 58 of Jonathan Schwartz starting in second place on the bottom lane, which is where he first started. Actually, no, he swapped places with 32 of Mike Springer. And that 82 of Keenan Miller starting in fourth place. And the 92 of Hoyt Smith back out again after having to tow. Stayed 1 lap down, so that was a great job by him, being able to not go any more laps down.
Oh, most definitely there, Sean. It's, we are looking here as these guys are lined up side by side here, coming through turns 3, ready to go back green flag racing.
As the 4 of Baldwin controls this start, pace speed is 50 miles an hour on his mark. Let's see how this goes. The pace car's off, still holding pace speed. He puts the pedal down, jumps, still gets a good jump on everybody else. The 32 of Springer tries to catch up, but not quite. The 87 of Craig Embry, big bump on 58 of Jonathan Schwartz to get him going. That 82 of Kenan Miller occupying the outside of 58 of Jonathan Schwartz to try and get around him, but the 58 of Schwartz does have the preferred race group here on the inside line. Exiting turn 2 is going to be able to clear him. That was a great job by him, and that 4 of Delton Baldwin trying his best to create a gap in between him and the 32 of Mike Springer, who's not going to back off.
Almost definitely here, as we know, Dalton Baldwin is only 1 point away from the leader, the winner, the current first place in points, which will be the 32 of Mike Springer, as these guys are going to be battling it out lap by lap here, as we are currently watching the 4 of Dalton Baldwin do 180 plus mile an hour through these turns. That has to be nerve-wracking to be able to turn these laps here, go so fast, but knowing you have all these other drivers behind you hungry to get that position.
Oh, absolutely, Dave. They are going very fast, and this track is very hot tonight. It is 112 degrees Fahrenheit, just like I had mentioned earlier, and that means less grip and more tire wear. So the more speed they carry into those turns, the more braking they have to do, or the more lifting they have to do in order to be able to rotate those cars. And we have a side-by-side battle going on here into turn 3 between the 73 of Chris Ostrander and the 7 of Thomas Conheady. The 73 of Chris Ostrander occupying the inside with 7 of Conheady. He's going to propel, exiting turn 4, almost hits that wall, is able to hang on to it. 73 of Ostrander falls short. If 7 of Barry Hines is going to try and follow the 7 of Ostrander on the outside line, or 7 of Conheady, sorry.
Most definitely. We are going to go back here and take a look at that 92 machine of Hoyt Smith here, as he has fallen a little off pace after being involved in that incident. As we look at that beautiful car of his. Also, Sean, I just want to tell the viewers that if anybody is interested in a iFlag for their sim racing equipment, contact Hoyt Smith. He has got some good deals. He does some good work. So if anybody out there is looking for some more material for their sim racing rigs that they use to race, definitely give him a contact to see what he can do for you.
Oh, absolutely, Dave. Great guy indeed, and great product. And also right now, we do have the 58 of Jonathan Schwartz trying to catch up to the 32 of Springer. And so far, it does seem to be working, Dave. But the gap in between the 32 of Springer and the 4 of Baldwin does seem to be getting nothing but bigger.
Well, Sean, we are only on lap 9 of 125 here. We've already had one caution tonight, but these guys know that they've got a long race ahead of them. It could be that the 32 of Mike Springer is just kind of going into a tire conservation mode, letting the 4 of Dalton Baldwin and the 58 of Jonathan Schwartz burn up their stuff and trying to get a later run. So it'll be interesting to see how their pit strategy is going to play out tonight.
Oh, absolutely, Dave. I'm also glad you mentioned that. Pit strategy tonight is going to be very, very important. The drivers who are most likely, or who are likely to succeed, are those guys who have the best or execute the best pit stops with the best pit times out there. And tonight, Dave, we should just expect to see a lot of drivers taking 4 tires and not 2.
Well, most definitely here on this 1.5 mile track, it's got some pretty good banking, and as you said, with the temperature, you know, the track temperature being over 100 degrees, you know, that is chewing up these tires. I look for, unless we see some green flag pit stops, especially late in the race, as it looks like the 8 of Randy Arms is going to get around the 32 of Mike Springer, bumping him down into 4th place and moving the 8 of Randy Arms, as he is now looking to the inside of Jonathan Schwartz. The 8 of Randy Arms is on a roll here tonight, as he is also in contention for the championship race tonight.
They're going to be side by side here into turns 1 and 2. The 58 of Schwartz drifts way high, allowing a lot of room for the 8 of Randy Arms to make the pass successful, and he does so, exiting turn 2. 58 of Schwartz, huge run on the back bumper of the 8 of Arms, going to look to the inside. Nope, he backs it down to ride single file. Dave, the more time, the more they battle, the more time they lose to the 4 of Dalton Baldwin. As we can see right now, they are about 1.3 seconds behind the 4 of Baldwin, and last time we checked, it was about 0.6 seconds, so that has gone up a lot.
Oh, most definitely, Sean. It looks like, well, actually, the lead there for Dalton Baldwin is only about 9/10 of a second. So he is not really pulling away that much. They are keeping him in shot here, as it looks like the 8 of Randy Arms got around the 58 of Jonathan Schwartz, as he is now actually closing that gap between him and the 4 of Dalton Baldwin.
Oh, Dave, and Randy Arms has been a very, very strong driver here, so he's most likely going to try his best to catch up to the 4 of Baldwin. Just like you have said, he is pulling him in, and so far it's working in his favor. Maybe the 4 of Baldwin has either backed it off to try and save gas, or the 8 of Randy Arms has increased or upped his game to try and catch up to him. It could be go both ways at this point. And also focusing on the 87 of Craig Embry right now. He's trying to catch up to 73 of Chris Ostrander for 6th position, exiting turn 4. Huge run on him. We got some trouble in the tri-oval. One driver off the track. Let's see who that is. 32 Mike Springer in the grass. We do have one more driver on the apron down there who just recovered from that. Looks like... cannot seem to find that car. Looks like it's the 87 of Craig Embry got hard into the wall exiting turn 2. And the 58 of Jonathan Schwartz as well was involved in that.
Well, that was good driving there by the 32 of Mike Springer, as he was able to save that car, as it looks like the 82 machine is falling towards the back, so there may be some issues with Keenan Miller, as he has just let everybody go past him, but he is currently in 7th position, as the 58 of Jonathan Schwartz is now working his way around him. So I'm wondering if maybe he tagged the wall a little bit, lost some speed, but looks like he's got that machine of his, that Camry, running back up to full speed.
And Dave, speaking of Keenan Miller, he does actually have some damage on the right side. Some trouble on the track. We have one driver hard into the wall. 58 Schwartz got collected by the 7 of Thomas Conhead. He actually allows the 12 of Kevin Tronzinski, who's smoking heavily in the grass here in the tri-oval. Looks like he went up onto the track after smacking that apron and collected a couple of cars.
Yeah, he's missing the whole back end of that car, so he's got some heavy damage. Hopefully he still has that backup car there to be able to get down into pit road and get into that backup car and get back out on this race. But that is going to bring our second caution of the night out. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Dre Broadcasting, as we are bringing you the excuse me, my mouth got a little dry there, but we are bringing you the Children's Dream Racer Cup Series, brought to you by Anarchy Motorsports here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. This is the final race of the season, as these guys are battling for the championship, as we are now on our second caution of the night.
And Dave, while we're under caution, I did notice that everybody went down pit road, including the leader, the 4 of Downton Baldwin. He was able to hang on to that lead regardless. And the 92 of Hoyt Smith was able to get 1 lap back after getting a lucky dog. He went from 2 laps down back to 1 lap down. And so far we have only 3 cars a lap down. And that does include the 58 of Jonathan Schwartz, the 92 of Hoyt Smith himself after getting 1 lap back. And also the 12 of Kevin Trunzinski, who's a lap down on pit road right now, has no rear end after making some heavy contact, smacking that wall and making contact with other cars after losing control.
Well, looks like the 92 of Hoyt Smith is going to make his way down onto pit road, since he did receive that lucky dog. And pit is the 4 of Dalton Baldwin is starting to line it up too wide here, as we are getting ready to go back green flag racing.
And this is a different lineup from last time. We do have the 4 of Dalton Baldwin still in the race lead. The 8 of Randy Arms leading the outside line in second place. The 73 of Chris Ostrander coming up into the top 5 after starting in 12th place, is now in 3rd. Second place on the bottom lane behind the 4 of Dalton Baldwin. And the 7 of Thomas Coney starting in 6th position. He's made it to the top 5 and is now in 4th place. Second place on the outside line.
Well, the pace car is now bringing them here into turn number 3 here, as it looks like the 12 of Kevin Trunzinski is still down on pit road, getting some damage fixed. So it looks like he didn't have a backup car, but the 4 of Dalton Baldwin is currently on the inside of the 8 of Randy Arms, who probably was hoping for this caution, as he's got a chance to battle the 4 of Baldwin, as the pace car makes that hard left down into pit road. Dalton Baldwin jumps onto that throttle hard as the green flag flies, but it looks like the 8 of Randy Arms is just asleep a little bit. But here comes the 73 of Chris Ostrander looking to the inside, as these guys come into turn number 2 now. Here is the 4 of Dalton Baldwin checked out.
And the driver who's been getting the best restarts, Dave, is the 87 of Craig Embry. He's been getting some very good starts, but he has nowhere to go. So he has no choice but to back it down and just fall in line to avoid losing any positions. And right now he's trying to get on the 73 of Chris Ostrander and the 7 of Thomas Conheady, but has nowhere to go. That is, Randy Arms is controlling this second pack here, trying to catch up to the 4 of Dalton Baldwin, but they are battling behind the 87 of Craig Embry and the 73 of Chris Ostrander. But 87 of Embry is able to clear the 73 of Ostrander and is now behind the 7 of Conheady.
Oh, most definitely here, as we are keeping an eye on that 87 of Craig Embry, as he is working his way around, as he looks to the inside now of the 7 of Conheady. And we have cars in the grass again here. Looked like the 73 of Chris Ostrander, but he is able to keep it off the wall, keep it down low on the track, and is able to keep it green flag racing.
As you were saying, that the 7 of Craig Embry was able to make the pass successfully on the 7 of Thomas Connery, bumping him back into 4th position, or bumping him into 4th place, and putting himself up into the top 3 and 3rd place. But he does have some trouble behind 8 of Jonathan Schwartz. Jonathan Schwartz has been a powerful driver tonight, Dave, so he's not going anywhere anytime soon but the front. So that 7 of Thomas Connery better watch out, because he does have some serious competition right behind him.
Oh, most definitely here. It looks like the 4 of Baldwin has pulled out to about a 6/10 lead over the second place machine of the 8 of Randy Arms. So it looks like Baldwin has that Toyota Camry all dialed in, as he is just putting on a clinic. But watching these times, it does look like the 8 of Randy Arms in that Chevy SS is kind of closing that gap a little. It's down to 4/10 now. So looks like the 8 of Randy Arms has something for that 4 of Baldwin.
And Dave, I was focused on the 58 of Jonathan Schwartz instead of Thomas Conheady, and the 58 of Schwartz was able to make a pass on the outside line of the 7 of Conheady. And Dave, we know the outside line is not the best place to make a pass. It's very difficult to make a pass on the outside line, because it's very difficult to make it stick when you have this high of a track temp, which even makes it even more difficult. So it's very nice to see how the 58 of Schwartz was able to use that skill and make the pass successfully on the outside line the way he did. And that 7 of Barry Hines is now trying to apply pressure to the 7 of Thomas Coney to get around him as well.
Oh, most definitely here is Schwartz is just kind of riding a low line there. You see a lot of cars actually kind of going down to that white line. These drivers got to be careful running down low like that, Sean. If they make contact with that apron below that white line, I see the car getting real loose and the back end of the car coming around and causing them to spin out of control.
Oh, absolutely, Dave. The apron is not your friend. It's never been. Once you touch it, it's most likely game over. We do have a couple of drivers who get lucky here and there. They are able to save it, and the guys behind them are paying attention. Luckily, it's not all the time that drivers have enough time to react, going over 200 miles an hour usually here on the front stretch like this. And right now, David wants to focus on the 32 of Mike Spring. He does have some heavy right side damage on that Chevy SS of his, but he's still being able to keep up somehow.
Yeah, as we look at his speeds, you know, he's still running over 200 mile an hour on these straight stretches. So it doesn't look like that damage is affecting as he's looking to the inside of the 57 of Barry Hines. They are going to be side by side here on the exit of 4 and through the dogleg, but it does look like the 57 of Barry Hines is going to have that speed on the outside and hold off the charge from the 32 of Mike Springer.
And by the looks of it, Dave, it's not affecting his straightaway speed, but that damage is definitely affecting the ability of the car to turn, because by the looks of it, he is drifting way high. It's not being able to rotate to steer into the turns, and that is costing him quite a bit. He's gaining all that time back on the straights, but he's losing all the time exiting those turns.
Oh, most definitely, Sean. It could also be he's trying to save his tires a little bit, try to run that high line so he doesn't scrub them tires so they'll last longer. He may be thinking pit strategy here as well.
Oh, absolutely, Dave, and he is our current points standings leader, but he does have the Dalton Baldwin right behind him by a point. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out.
Well, as we look at our current top 10 here, we have Dalton Baldwin in first, the 2 of Randy Arms in second, Craig Embry in third, Thomas Conheady running fourth, Barry Hines running fifth, Mike Springer currently in sixth position, Chris Ostrander running seventh, Miller running eighth, Schwartz ninth, and Hoyt Smith rounding out your top 10.
And the 12 of Kevin Tronzinski, unfortunately, still down pit road. That pit crew heavy at work trying to get that machine fixed and ready to get back out onto the racetrack. Just hope he has enough time remaining after he's able to get out onto the track to stay competitive. But Dave, I'm pretty sure even if he gets up onto the track, he won't be as fast as everybody else out there.
Oh, most definitely, Sean. It looks like now the 92 of Hoyt Smith is getting to the back bumper of the 32 of Mike Springer. It's not going to be for position. Looks like Hoyt Smith is going to have to find a way to work his way around the track. Is currently right now the 58 of Jonathan Schwartz is sitting in the lucky dog spot. So if a yellow does come out, he will receive that lucky dog, as we are now 91 laps to go here at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
And that 32 of Mike Spring, just like you had pointed out there, he is letting, he did it the 92 of Hoyt Smith by, he let him by on the microphone there. He looks like he's just trying to ride, or maybe that damage is maybe playing such a key factor or a key role in his speeds or his handling or his performance out there. Also going back into second place, Dave, we do have the 8 of Randy Arms very close to the 4 of Downton Bowden. He is pulling him in. And Dave, if we can, let's try and ride on the in car of the 8 of Arms, just so we can watch him work. He is following the exact same draft or same race line as the 4 of Downton Baldwin, getting the best draft possible. Entering turn 1, they do have different race lines. The 8 of Randy Arms goes down to that bottom, all the 4 of Downton Baldwin stays high exiting the turn 2 as well, but he's still able to maintain all his speed. Well, Dave, maybe going down to the bottom might not be the best idea into turns 1 and 2.
That might be. It looks like the 4 of Baldwin's kind of playing with his driving line there. We are looking out the windshield there of the 8 of Randy Arms. So it looks like Dalton Baldwin just kind of playing around here, seeing what line works for him best. He seems to like that outside line there in turns 1 and 2. He loses a little speed there in the turn, but on the exit, he just propels off of the exit.
Well, Dave, that's a great strategy by the looks of it, because he is saving tires. He's losing speed. He's sacrificing speed for tires. At the same time, those guys who are running that bottom line are using up the tires the most and getting a lot of speed because of it. But in the long run, the 4 of Baldwin is going to propel the most speed-wise compared to the 8 of Randy Arms.
Oh, most definitely here. These guys got right about 20 laps on these tires since their last pit here. So these guys, we should be seeing probably some green flag pit stops here within 10 to 15 laps, I would say. Once again, that is just an estimate. We're not quite sure how far these guys can go on a full tank of Sunoco fuel and 4 fresh Goodyear tires, but we are about to find out.
And Dave, we did have some trouble a little bit a few seconds back. The 7 of Thomas Conhead got loose exiting. Turn 4 was in the grass, but was able to hang on to it. Nobody else was involved in that. He was able to stay contact free. So he is back out there. He's back up to speed and is rolling to try and gain as much time as possible, or to gain back all the time that he had lost. But he does have the 82 of Keenan Miller right behind him. But Keenan still has that damage on his right side, which is most likely affecting him.
Most definitely. And looking around the track here, Sean, look who's back out on the track. The 12 of KT, or Kevin Trzynski himself. He has got that car fixed. It looks real good. Still some damage there in the back and damage on the side, but he has brought it back out on the track. What sportsmanship there by KT tonight. Even though damage is running currently in 11th position, he's still giving it his all, as he is currently 20 laps down.
Oh, absolutely, Dave. That does say a lot about his personality and just how he doesn't give up easily. And right now he is pushing about 180 to 185 miles an hour, entering turns number 1, while these other drivers who have clean cars are running about 200, 201, entering those turns. So he's about less than 20, or about 20 miles off the pace, but he's still going strong. He won't be as many laps down as he would have been if he were sitting in pit road.
Oh, most definitely here. But as we are going to go back up and look at the race leader, the 4 of Baldwin, he has still got the 8 of Randy Arms there in that Chevrolet all over his back bumper, filling up his mirrors. So it may be that the 8 of Randy Arms is just kind of toying with him a little bit, Sean, there, trying to get him to make a mistake so that he can capitalize on it.
Oh, absolutely, Dave. That is exactly what we hope for when we're racing like that. You try and be all over their mirror, because then you know that they'll most likely be focused more on you in that race in the mirror than they would be on their racing line. And right now, as we were speaking, the 8 of Randy Arms was occupying the inside of the 4 of Dalton Borden, applying pressure, but the 4 of Borden is able to propel. Nope, he's going to lose all that speed. The 8 of Arms occupying the inside almost made contact. They're able to save it. He has no choice but to fall back in line because he lost all that speed because he had to swerve.
Oh, most definitely here. These guys are battling it nice and hard. You can tell these guys want to win that championship. If the race was over right now, Sean, here looking at the points, I do believe the 4 of Dalton Baldwin would take the championship. As we know, the 8 of Randy Arms is 2 points currently behind. Dalton Baldwin is 1 point behind, and Mike Springer is our current season leader at the moment. So these guys want to win that championship. They want to be crowned the Children's Dream Racer Cup Series champion here in Anarchy Motorsports Series.
Oh, absolutely, Dave. It's been a very, very fun season. These guys have been out here appreciating and just showing their talent overall. And it's been amazing calling the whole entire series. Well, not the whole entire series. Weren't able to call the whole entire series, but it was a pleasure calling all the races that we could here, as we had seen a lot of great competition and a lot of great racing out here. And Dave, these are the A cars. They're not compared to the trucks and the B cars. They're a little bit faster. They do have a little bit more horsepower, which means a little bit more manpower or wheeling are required in order to be able to make it around the track, which takes a lot of skill, and these guys do have that skill.
Oh, most definitely here is these guys are battling it out here. We are on lap 46 of 125. We've had no lead changes here tonight, but the 8 of Randy Arms is still working all over the 4 of Baldwin. But it seems like the rest of the field here has kind of been spread out, as we've got cars all over the track now, Sean.
And Dave, I've been monitoring these guys' speeds into the turns, and they're actually slowing down more and they were slowing down in the beginning of the race, and those lap times have gone nothing but lower. Right now I'm focused on the 87 of Craig Embry. His last lap was at 33.050, just like we had said. In qualifying they were running about 28-second lap time, so that's way about 4 to 5 seconds off the pace, and we have one driver down pit road. It's the 8 of Randy Arms.
Well, it looks like the 8 of Randy Arms is going to be the first onto pit road here. Now, normally after we see somebody on the lead lap there come down pit road, we are going to start seeing the race leader as he is now making his way off pit road here into turn number 1, as he is keeping it below the white line here until the backstretch, letting all the faster cars that are already up to speed get around him.
And right now he's being shown the last car on the lead lap, with the 58 of Jonathan Schwartz still being the first car a lap down. And the 4 of Dalton Borders is most likely going to be pitting in soon, but he does have the 7 of Craig Embry trying to catch up to him. But Craig Embry has been losing time left and right to the 4 of Dalton Baldwin.
Oh, most definitely here. As I'm looking at lap times, it looks like so far tonight, Dalton Baldwin has put down the fastest lap with a 28.593 here in the race, but his last lap was a 31.168. It looks like Keaton Miller was second with a 31.720, so almost a 6/10 difference. But then again, here come the 87 of Craig Embry, put down a 31.3, as it looks like the 87 of Embry, the 57 of Barry Hines, and 32 of Mike Springer, and the 7 of Thomas Conheady are going to make their way down onto pit road for their first green flag pit stops.
And now that leaves the 58 of Jonathan Schwartz, the 12 of Kevin Tronzinski, the only driver, also the 4 of Dalton Baldwin left to pit. And so far, the 4 of Baldwin does have the most laps on his tires with 33 laps, while the 58 of Jonathan Schwartz has 31 laps on his tires, which is 2 less than he does.
Well, Sean, looking at these last lap times here, as we know the 8 of Randy Arms has pitted. The last lap time ran by our current race leader, the 4 of Dalton Baldwin, was a 31.348. Randy Arms turned a 28.9. You can see the difference that them fresher tires make out on the track, as the 92 of Hoyt Smith is able to get around the 4 of Dalton Baldwin, getting back another lap. So he is currently 1 lap down here, as we are still waiting on our race leader to come down into pit road for his first green flag pit stop.
And Dave, if you're one of the drivers out there tonight and you were to get new tires, do you think it's best to run as much or get the most out of those tires by pushing it while you can on those new tires, or maybe saving them to try and last longer?
Well, Sean, I mean, as we just saw the 8 of Randy Arms get around the 4 of Dalton Baldwin, pull away from him in a hurry, get back on the lead lap. The question is how much longer is the 4 of Baldwin going to run out there? Now it just puts Randy Arms back on the lead lap. The question is does Randy Arms have enough time to be able to get around the track and get back around him and take that race lead away from him, as the 4 of Baldwin is staying out for another lap. He has now got 35 laps on his tires.
And Dave, the longer he stays out, the more time he loses. Therefore, the more likely he is to go a lap down when he does go down pit road. And they serve Craig Embry right now. This is actually making up a lot of time. He's been running 28-second lap times. 28.987 was his last lap time, and he's on the move trying to catch up to as many cars as possible, as much as he can on those new tires. He just about took the 73 of Chris Ostrander, and also the 32 of Mike Springer has got all that damage fixed, Dave.
Well, that's definitely good to hear. Is Sean, don't know if you've heard, but have you heard about the change in the 2017 season of NASCAR in real life?
Actually, Dave, I have not.
Well, Sean, they are now changing their Cup Series name. It is now the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series.
Oh, that's good to hear. So we should expect to see a lot of monster paintings or a lot of monster stickers out there on these tracks here in the near future on iRacing, I bet.
Oh, well, there's already a lot out there. As we know, Monster is one of the favorite energy drinks out there. I'm sure all these guys will probably drink at least one Monster in their lifetime. I'm sure we'll have to ask them if we remember that when we get in some driver interviews. But Also, just today was also announced that Carl Edwards will not be racing in the 2017 Monster Energy Cup Series. So it looks like things are going to shake up here in the actual NASCAR Monster Energy Cup Series this coming year, Sean.
Oh, absolutely, Dave. A change is always good, but not everybody likes it. But for most people, it might be beneficial, but for most, it might not be. So it's just going to have to play out and see who's happy and who's not.
Well, as we get back here to the race action, we are going to, looks like the 87 of Craig Embry has moved up into second position here behind the 8 of Randy Arms, but he is still currently about 9 seconds behind the 8 of Randy Arms, who is our new race leader, as we didn't realize the 4 of Dalton Baldwin actually had come down onto pit road here, and coming out of pit road, he has moved up into 5th position. So we actually have a new race leader right now.
And Dave, because he did stay out that long, the 4 of Baldwin that is, he did lose a lot of time, but his pit time was actually almost the same as the 8 of Randy Arms. The 4 of Baldwin had a 12.8 second pit stop, while the 8 of Randy Arms had a 12.4, which is only 0.2 less than the 4 of Baldwin. So it was pretty much the same, but him staying out did cost him quite a few.
Oh, most definitely, Sean, here. But I think what Randy Arms is trying to do, if I'm not mistaken and looking at my math, I'm thinking he is going to try to push it on just one more pit stop for the remainder of the race. We saw him go over 35 laps on a single tank of fuel and tires, as we now have 66 laps to go as we are approaching halfway here.
And David 4 of Baldwin right now is actually on the move of taking the 32 of Mike Springer here, exiting turn 4. He's going to make the pass. 32 of Springer gets loose, almost taps that one, is able to hang on to it. And the 4 of Baldwin gets home successfully. And his next opponent, a 7 of Craig Embry. But he's about, that's about 4 seconds behind the 7 of Craig Embry. So it's just a matter of time before he catches up to him. But the 7 of Craig Embry is a very tough driver. So it's not going to be an easy task for the 4 of Baldwin to do. As the 7 of Craig Embry's got around 2 lap cars. The 92 of Hoyt Smith and the 7 of Thomas Conheady.
Well, as we look at the compare here, we are watching the 87 of Craig Embry, and we see back in fourth, back in the position behind him is the 4 of Baldwin. And we are watching the distance between them. It was 3.7. It's down to 3.2 and dropping. So it does look like 4 of Baldwin is definitely making up. It just went back up to 3.4. So it looks like he's got some work to do, but the question is, since these guys pitted a little bit earlier, are they going to be able to make it on one more pit stop, or are these guys going to have to do 2 more pit stops to make it the remainder of this race?
That's a very good question, Dave. But by the way we saw that pit laps, or the times, the number of laps they put on the track before going down pit road. The 4 of Baldwin you did mention was about 35 laps before going down pit road, 35, 36. So it's going to be very, very close. They'll most likely have to do 2 more pit stops in order to be able to make it by the looks of it.
Oh, most definitely here is that now we are looking at, it looks like Dalton Baldwin has closed it down to 2.2 seconds. So as he is now making his way, it looks like around 7 of Thomas Conheady. As Dalton Baldwin is charging towards the front here, he looks to the inside of Thomas Conheady. Thomas Conheady tags the wall and lets the 4 of Baldwin go, as he has now got some heavy right side damage on that machine of his of the 7 of Thomas Conheady.
And David, a 7 of Craig Embry right now is catching up to the 8 of Randy Arms. Last time we checked, he was 9 seconds behind him, but now he's bumped it down to 8.2 seconds, which is over a second. He's put it down, or narrowed it down to a second less than he was before. So that was a great job by him. Great driving. He's really pushing it.
Well, an interesting fact here, Sean. It looks like currently Randy Arms is on lap 19 of his tires, while Dalton Baldwin is only on lap 11. So there is an 8-lap difference that the 4 of Dalton Baldwin stayed out. So he pushed that extra fuel mileage there. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that and see if that's going to come into play here later in the race.
And Dave, I've been focusing on 87 of Craig Embry, and he's been very, very loose. Let's actually ride on the in car with him just so we can watch him try and get around the track. He's been loose twice. He almost spun out exiting turn 4 last lap and spun out turn 2 the next lap. Well, almost spun out, but was able to hang on to it both times. So far he is struggling after pushing for way too long. He does have 17 laps on his tires, while the 4 of Baldwin, who just got around him, has 12, which is 5 less laps than him. So Dave, maybe the 4 of Baldwin has the right idea.
Oh, most definitely, Sean. I mean, anything's possible here. Currently we have 7 cars left on the lead lap here, but looking here, it looks like the 57 of Barry Hines, who is the last one on the lead lap, has got some trouble behind him as the 8 of Randy Arms is definitely making his way up to him.
And Randy Arms right now almost was drifting way high there, exiting turn 2, in between turns 1 and 2. So maybe that thing stopped rotating. Just like you had mentioned, Dave, he does have 22 laps on his tires, which is more than everyone else behind him. But so far, it looks like the 73 of Chris Ocean has the most laps on his tires and he's a lap down. Actually, nope, he's in 5th place on the lead lap. He does have 26 laps on his tires, which is 4 more laps compared to the leader, or the race leader of this race so far, the 8 of Randy Arms. Also focusing on the 12 of Kevin Trozinski, Dave. He's still going out there strong. He's 25 laps down in 11th place. He did pit in actually a lap ago, and his pit time was 26.6, which is almost double everyone else's pit time. So maybe he was getting some more damage fixed, Dave.
Oh, most definitely, Sean, as we are now well over the halfway mark here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, bringing you, of course, once again, the Children's Dream Racer Cup Series Championship race here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, brought to you by Anarchy Motorsports and live on Ray Broadcasting Network. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a quick commercial break, so refill those drinks, refill those snacks, and we will continue with the action when we come right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Dre Broadcasting. We are bringing you the Anarchy Motorsports Series Children's Dream Racer Cup Series at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Well, once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know already, my name is David Everly, and I'm your commentator, and I'm also joined by Sean Zulu up here in the booth. Well, Sean, it's been a good race here. We've got less than 50 laps to go here. As we are taking a look at our current running order, we still have the 8 of Randy Arms in the lead. The 4 of Dalton Baldwin is actually closing in on that gap of him, though, in second place. In third place, we currently have the 87 of Craig Embry, with the 32 of Mike Springer currently running in fourth position. And the caution is out, as it looked like the 82 of Keenan Miller spun out and got sideways on the track.
And that did create some heavy smoke exiting his Toyota Camry out there. Looks like, oh, he smacked that one, lost control of it, and is now, looks like he's now towing on pit road. Oh, that's very unfortunate there. We just hope he has at least a reset or a backup car out there, just so he can use it to be able to stay competitive out there.
Well, Sean, I think he was collected up in an earlier incident, but I hope so too, as it looked like he had to tow down into pit road here. So he is currently towing his car down, so we will definitely see here, as it looks like the 58 of Jonathan Schwartz is in the lucky dog position. So let's see if he gets that and goes back on the lead lap. Now the question is, the 8 of Randy Arms has got 32 laps on his tires. Right now we have 47 laps to go. Dalton Baldwin currently running in P2 has only got 24 laps on his tires. The 87 of Craig Embry's got 29 laps, and 32 of Mike Springer, the 73 of Chris Ostrander, and the 57 of Barry Hines all got 29, as it looks like all of them are going to come down to pit road here for a full service here under yellow flag.
Well, Dave, this caution is definitely going to throw quite the loophole or a different strategy in their strategies. Maybe they might actually have to, this might just be the last pit stop of the night, but by the looks of it, it's going to be very close, because last time we checked, the 4 of Dalton Baldwin pitted with 36 laps on his tires. So I'm not sure when the fuel run is, but maybe 36 to 40 laps by the looks of it. But let's say it's 36 laps. Then the next pit stop is going to be on lap 116. So it's going to be very close, Dave. It's about 5 more laps needed in order to be able to complete the race, so 7 more laps.
Oh, most definitely, Sean. As we know, we're getting down here to the nitty-gritty. Is we've only had one lead change tonight, and that was when the 8 of Randy Arms took the lead away from the 4 of Dalton Baldwin. But it looks like currently the 87 of Craig Embry was able to beat the 4 of Dalton Baldwin off pit road, and also the 8 of Randy Arms was looks to be like the first one off of pit road, as it looks like the 12 and the 7 of Thomas Conheady are now making their way down onto pit road. The 12 of Kevin Jasinski is. The 7 of Thomas Conheady is staying out, hoping to get that wave around so that he can get back on the lead lap as well.
And Thomas Conheady is currently being shown 2 laps down. Actually, that just went back to 1 lap down. So he will be getting the wave around with 1 to go, and he's going to be back on the lead lap, because his last pit stop was 4 laps ago. So that's not bad, Dave. That's a good strategy by him. So he decided to stay out. Well, maybe he went down pit road to pit in, and the caution ended up coming out. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to try and get a race interview in with the 8 of Randy Arms. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we do have the 8 of Randy Arms up here with us. Got a copy, Randy?
Yeah, I got you, Sean.
How you doing tonight, buddy?
Oh, not too bad. We've been able to lead some laps here, and hopefully we can keep Dalton behind us here for the last part of this race.
Oh, 10-4, Randy. And Randy, you've been doing a great job tonight, starting in 10th place. No qualifying lap, came out of nowhere, took the race lead back after those green flag pit stops. Tell us, how did those green flag pit stops go for you, buddy?
They actually went really well. We had a pretty good stop. I got on pit road good and off fairly quick, and we pitted few laps before Dalton, so we was able to, you know, use the new tires to gain a good bit of the time on him. And that caution came out right before we was all gonna cut again, so we'll have to see what happens here. We're all bunched up.
Oh, absolutely, Randy, and we do wish you the best of luck. And Randy, do you know how many laps you guys can go on a tank before you have to pit in again?
We can go like right around 40 laps. That's about as far as I think as we'll be able to go. So I don't think we're going to be able to make it from here unless someone's really good at saving fuel. So I guess we'll just see what happens.
Oh, absolutely, Randy. If my calculations are correct, you guys are going to be 4 laps short. So it's most likely going to come down to who's going to save gas the most, or maybe who's going to short pit or pit in to try and be able to make it. But you guys are now 1 to green. So good luck to you, buddy, and hope we'll see you in victory lane tonight.
Thank you, Sean.
Well, Sean, the pace car is now bringing them out of turn number 4 here as they are getting ready to dip it down as we are double foul here. Pace car is off. 8 of Randy Arms keeps him at pit speed as he jumps on that throttle, but so does the 4 of Dalton Baldwin, who gets door to door with the 87 of Craig Embry on the outside. The 8 of Randy Arms is only worried about what's in front of him, but here comes the 4 of Baldwin trying to make a move to get to his back bumper here in turns 1 and 2.
The 4 of Bowden following the line of the 8 of Randy Arms at the moment right now, most likely trying to set him up or trying to oh, they made contact. They're gonna go. Oh, they almost wrecked. The 4 of Bowden has been shuffled out of that line. He was able to hang on to it. Great driving by both, just so they don't have too much damage to affect their performance tonight.
Most definitely, but that is going to set him back as the 87 of Craig Embry is looking to the inside of the race leader, the 8 of Randy Arms, as they are now side by side coming out of turn number 2 here on the backstretch.
Craig Embry comes out of nowhere already, playing the inside of oh, he goes sideways entering turn 3. He's able to hang on to it, loses all his momentum, all his speed, 160 miles an hour, trying to get back up to speed, losing positions left and right. Get over taken by the 4 of Dalton Bowden and also the 58 of Jonathan Schwartz and 57 of Barry Hines, and right now he's still trying to regroup and do it again and take back what was rightfully his, which is all those positions that he just lost right now.
Well, we saw 2 drivers that was able to get up and battle, but the 8 of Randy Arms has been able to hold him off here tonight as he has currently led 29 laps, and he started in 10th position tonight and has worked his way all the way up into the race lead. Currently, we are on lap 84 of 125, or lap 85, I'm sorry, with 40 laps to go. We've had 1 lead change, 3 cautions for 10 laps. As these guys are now bottom up, the 87 of Craig Embry looks to the inside of the 58 of Jonathan Schwartz as they are side by side here coming into turn number 3.
And those had a battle for the first place position between the 4 of Dalton Baldwin and also the 8 of Randy Arms, but the 8 of Arms was able to keep the 4 of Baldwin right behind it, but nope, he's going to look to his inside versus start finish line to be side by side into turn number 1 as the 4 of Baldwin occupies the inside of the 8 of Randy Arms. He's occupying the outside, he gets loose sideways into turns 1 and 2. Is he going to save it? Yes, he saves it, loses all his speed as well.
Well, that's twice now that we saw the 4 of Dalton Baldwin looking risky moves, trying to get to the inside just for that car to get loose. But what a driver, as he was now able to save it for a second time. Sean, it almost looks like he's getting ready for dirt that's going to be released here soon on iRacing.
Oh, absolutely, Dave. That is some good practice on his part. Right now, he's still trying to regroup, trying to overtake the 8 of Craig Embry. He does so successfully for the second place position. He's now coming up to a lap car. The 12 of Kevin Transisi still going strong out there with that damage that he sustained.
Well, Sean, we are now 38 laps to go. We heard from Randy Arms himself that just pushing it, these guys might be able to do 40 laps. The question is are we going to have anybody short pit here trying to get in, get their pit stops so that they can make it to see if, to force these other drivers to try to push it to the limit.
Oh, David, it's a very, very likely case. These guys will probably short pit to try and be able to make it all the way, because they can't make it all the way on just that stop under caution. They do have to pit one more time just for a splash and go, and most of them won't take tires. I'm sure none of them are going to take any tires, because when I did the calculations, it did show me at the next pit stop is 121, or lap 121 is the latest they could pit in. So if they end up, actually, Dave, I'm starting to think if they can be able to save gas for 4 laps, but that's going to be very, very difficult. That's probably crawling speed right there.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to go 40 laps here at Atlanta. Is looking at these lap times, Sean, it doesn't really look like any of them is really saving it here. They've got now about 12 laps on all their tires, and they're still running the real low 29s.
And Dave, trouble on the track with 12 of Kevin Transinski hard into the wall and collected a driver out there. That was the 73 of Chris Ostrander, and both drivers are now towing after 12 of Kevin Transinski lost control, got loose entering in turns number 3, and came back up into the track, smacked the wall, and got rear-ended by the 73 of Chris Ostrander, who had nowhere to go.
Oh, most definitely there, Sean. We are now focusing back on the 8 of Randy Arms. Is now the 4 of Baldwin is only right about 1 second behind him. He seems to be running pretty consistent lap times here. Right now we've only had 2 leaders, the 8 Randy Arms and the 4 of Dalton Baldwin.
And Dave, tonight what I've noticed about the difference between or among the 3 drivers, the 8 of Randy Arms, the 4 of Dalton Baldwin, 87 of Craig Embry, the 4 of Baldwin does seem to be trying to save his tires the most. He's the one who's gonna succeed in the long run, while the 7 of Craig Embry and the 8 of Randy Arms, looks like these drivers are trying to get away from each other. So at the same time, they are losing a lot of time because of it and burning up a lot of tires.
Oh, most definitely there, Sean. But you also got to remember, though, we've had those 2 incidents with that Toyota Camry of Dalton Baldwin where he got sideways twice. That really does burn up your tires. So, I mean, the question of the matter is really how much more tires does he have left, as we are closing in on 30 laps to go.
And the 73 of Chris Ostrander back out onto the track with a new car. So by the looks of it, he did have a backup car remaining, but he's going down pit road this time by again, even though he is 3 laps down. So maybe he might have sped on pit entrance, but by the looks of it, he was towing, so I'm not sure what might have been the problem.
Well, there, Sean, it's definitely a possibility he didn't like the feel of the car, so he's going to come in and get one more pit stop adjustment here as he pulls into his pit box. I'm not seeing any the right side goes up on him. Right side drops. Left side, he is going to take 4 tires and a full tank of fuel and see if he gets back out on the track here, as he's still sitting on pit road. So he might be just making some more minor adjustments to that car. As we go back out on the track, we're going to take a look here at the 32 of Mike Springer, who's currently running in 6th position here and just kind of riding. He is right about 9.5 seconds behind the leader, so he's got some time to make up, but we still have plenty of racing left to go.
Look at that, Dave. Some more green flag pit stops. The 4 of Dalton Baldwin down pit road for a green flag pit stop this time by.
See if we can catch him to see what he takes here as he pulls into his pit box. Right side goes up. Right side drops. He is taking 4 tires and a full tank of fuel here, so he is definitely good for the remainder of the race here. It looks like he is now 1 lap down as he has dropped back into 6th position.
Oh, but look at that, Dave. He has been followed. The 87 of Craig Embry on pit road this time by, and also 58 of Jonathan Schwartz. Focusing on
Craig Embry's right side goes up. Right side drops. Left side is up, so he is taking 4 tires as well and a full tank of fuel.
He is rolling out as we speak. So, Dave, the question remains, what's the decision of the 8 of Randy Arms? What's the 8 of Randy Arms going to do? Because I'm pretty sure if he decides to stay out all the way and save gas, he is going to be at a very big disadvantage. He already has 20 laps on his tires as it is, and these guys have new tires. So that's an even bigger disadvantage for him.
Well, so we are riding in the cockpit of the 8 of Randy Arms. We're going to listen to see if he is actually trying to save fuel. It doesn't really sound like he is flushing it in anywhere, so he is not fuel conservation mode as he works his way out of turn on 2 into the backstretch here, is it just now, we are now waiting to see what is going to happen with the 8 of Randy Arms, the 57 of Barry Hines, and the 32 of Mike Springer, who is our top 3. Just as I said that, the 8 of Randy Arms is making his way down onto pit road.
Let's focus on the 8 of Randy Arms so we can compare his pit stop to that of those 2 other drivers, the 4 of Baldwin and the 87 of Craig Embry. Oh, he did miss his pit stop. Maybe not.
Yeah, he did come in a little hot and heavy as the right side comes up, left side comes up. He is also doing a 4-tire pit stop with fuel here as he is making his way back out on the pit road, or off the pit road. That is going to put the 57 of Barry Hines as our new race leader tonight. He has now led 2 laps here. As I am looking, it looks like currently Randy Arms is currently in 3rd position.
So far we have the 7 of Barry Hines left to pit, and also the 32 of Mike Springer remaining to pit, or needing to pit, and also the 7 of Thomas Conhead, who does have 26 laps on his tires. And right now Conhead is just riding on a high line, letting everybody by. He just got overtaken by the 58 Jonathan Schwartz, who is on the move trying to gain as much time as possible, but he does have some trouble from behind, and that is the 32 of Mike Springer, currently in 2nd place, who still needs to pit as well. So these guys do seem to be at the exact same pace at the moment. Trouble on the track, the 58 Jonathan Schwartz hard into the wall on the back straightaway. Actually, yes, that is the back straightaway. He is smoking heavily as we speak.
Looks like he is going to toe the pit road. That is going to keep us green flag racing here, as we are now coming up on 22 laps to go. Is currently in our race lead. We still have the 57 of Barry Hines.
And Dalton Baldwin does have the 87 of Craig Embry right behind him, 2 seconds behind him actually. They are 3rd, 4th, and 5th place, and that is Dalton Baldwin, the 87 of Craig Embry, and the 8 of Randy Arms, 3rd place in that line, in 5th place currently. And the 8 of Randy Arms is the last car on the lead lap at the moment, and the first car lap down is the 7 of Thomas Conhead. And so far we have 3 drivers retiring early. We have the 82 of Keenan Miller, the Hoyt Smith in the 92, and also Jonathan Schwartz in the 58, unfortunately.
Well, Sean, we are now 20 laps to go here. We've had 3 cautions for 10 laps. 2 lead changes here tonight. Is Barry Hines is still our current race leader. He has led 6 laps after starting 7th position.
Well, that's very, very impressive on his part there, Dave, but he should keep in mind that the longer he stays out, the more vulnerable he is to going more than 1 lap down once he goes down pit road. So he should start thinking about pitting in here soon in the coming future, or in the coming few laps, because we do have a few laps remaining, just like you had pointed out.
Well, as we were focusing on the 57 of Barry Hines, he got up into the outside wall there in turns 1 and 2. Is that is going to definitely shade his speed, so he is out of tires here, as he's got 28 laps on his tires, as he is now making his way down onto pit road. That is going to hand that race lead over to the 32 of Mike Springer.
And Mike Springer does have the 7 of Thomas Conhead right behind him, trying to get around him. But comparing the number of laps they have on their tires, 32 of Springer has 27 laps on his tires, while the 7 of Conhead has 32 laps on his tires. So he does have more tires compared to that of the 32 of Springer.
Oh, most definitely there, Sean. So it'll be interesting to see how this is going to go, as we are now 20 laps to go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take our one last commercial break here so that we can bring you the exciting finish here at Atlanta Motor Speedway for the NRT Motorsports Series Children's Dream Racer Cup Series. We will be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Dre Broadcasting as we are bringing you the season finale in the Anarchy Motorsports Series Children's Dream Racer Cup Series here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. While we were in commercial, we did have a caution. We had a couple cars collected in it. It looked like a 4 of Dalton Baldwin and a 57 of Barry Hines, as it looks like all of our current race leaders are coming down here onto pit road to get service. Our current race leader is the 32 of Mike Springer, who is our current season points leader, as the 32 of Mike Springer works his way off. Oh, he is just going to edge out the 8 of Randy Arms, it looks like. No, maybe the 8 of Randy Arms speeding. We're going to have to get an official ruling on that, Sean. That was too close to call.
Oh, it definitely was, Dave. But right now, the 8 of Randy Arms actually put away from him. He's actually ahead of him, basically. So maybe he did beat him out of off pit road. And instead of Barry Hines, actually right behind the pace car right now with all that damage that he sustained. And Dalton Baldwin is down pit road this time by, it looks like he's getting some damage fixed after making some heavy contact with the 7 of Barry Hines.
Well, that's going to shake up the battle here for the points for the season championship, as we are now 14 laps to go here, as we have now hit our 4th caution of the night for 12 laps, 3 lead changes. We've got 14 laps to go here, ladies and gentlemen, as the 8 of Randy Arms is our new race leader once again.
Yep, the 8 of Randy Arms taking back all his rightful his before the green flag pit stops kicked in. And Dalton Baldwin, unfortunately, oh, he's actually out onto the track as we speak. He's back out there, but he does have some rear end damage on his Toyota Camry, and also a little bit of right side damage, but it doesn't look too bad.
Now, Sean, it looks like Dalton Baldwin was able to stay on the lead lap there. He did not go a lap down while he tried to get as much damage as that fixed, as he is now working his way around the field here to catch up. As we currently have the 57 of Barry Hines behind the pace car, who is currently 1 lap down. So with 1 to go, he will get the wave around, and that will put him back on the lead lap.
That's definitely a great job by Barry Hines. You know, currently, just like you said, he is a lap down. And Dave, I was watching the 4 of Dalton Baldwin when he got off pit road, and he was actually speeding. He was trying to catch up the back of the pack, and he was able to actually hit 202 miles an hour entering turn 1. So maybe the damage is not bad after all.
Well, we will definitely have to see, as these guys are still pacing around here. We are waiting for them to get, they have just now got the 1 to green. So they are going to start lining back up, getting ready to go green flag racing here with 11 laps to go.
The 57 of Barry Hines was able to get that 1 lap back after getting a wave around the pace car with 1 to green. So now we have 6 cars on the lead lap. And the first car lap down is a 58 of Jonathan Schwartz, who unfortunately has retired for the night. 73 of Chris Ostrand is still down pit road. 82 of Keenan Miller has retired as well as a 92 of Hoyt Smith and a 12 of Kevin Tranzinski. So far we only have 6 drivers on the lead lap and 1 driver on pit road getting some damage fixed by the looks of it. And in this lineup, we do have the 8 of Randy Arms in the race lead, the 32 of Mike Springer occupying the outside, or leading the outside line in 2nd place, the 87 of Craig Embry, 2nd place in the bottom lane, and the 7 of Thomas Conheady, 2nd place on the outside line. Well, Dave, these guys can make it, so now they're going to put those hammers to the floor, and they'll take as much as they can and no giving anymore. Pace car's off. 8 of Randy Arms puts it down. 32 of Mike Springer does not see it coming, not quite, but he is able to fall back in line behind him and keep the 7 of Craig Embry behind him as well, as the 4 of Baldwin is occupying the inside of the 7 of Thomas Connery. Overtakes him here into turns 1 and 2 and is able to take it away from him. Exiting turn 2 is going to be right behind the 7 of Craig Embry to try and take it away from him. Let's see how bad that damage is.
Well, Sean, it's go time here, as we are now 11 laps to go. Once these drivers cross that start-finish line, it's going to put us under the 10 lap mark. So these guys got about 5 minutes with the lap times they're running. They got about 5 minutes to go to figure out who won that championship.
And look at that, Dave. The 4 of Baldwin is actually sideways exiting turn 2. He's actually on the move. Overtook the center of Craig Embry, who got loose exiting turn 4, and he got loose and exiting turn number 2. But right now he's still putting that hammer to the floor, trying to overtake or trying to catch up in 32 of Mike Springer for second place actually. And we do have the 8 of Randy Arms right now, not pulling away from the 32 of Springer too fast, but he is pulling away slowly but surely.
Well, the 4 of Baldwin has got to the back bumper there of the 32 of Mike Springer. Baldwin in that Toyota is wanting to get around that Chevy, but 32 of Mike Springer just was holding him off, but the 4 of Baldwin does get to the inside. He's now got his sights set on that 8 of Randy Arms.
Well, Dave, the 4 of Baldwin was able to qualify on the pole tonight and has most likely led the most laps in tonight's race. So he's not going to stop at nothing. Right now, his biggest mission is to overtake the 8 of Randy Arms. Just like when we interviewed the 8 of Arms, he did mention that his biggest mission tonight is to keep the 4 of Downton Baldwin behind him. So let's see what happens when he gets to his back bumper. And then let's try and focus on the 4 of Downton Baldwin. Let's try and run on his in car just so we can watch him pull the 8 of Randy Arms in if he does. Two turns 1 and 2, he is riding that middle lane to bottom lane. He exiting turn 2. He's gonna drift way high to get into the same line of the race group, the same as the 8 of Randy Arms, to try and get as much draft as possible to perfect that straightaway speed, or to increase the straightaway speed that he's getting. Actually, there we do have a battle going on behind the 4 of Downton Baldwin. It's between the 32 of Springer and the 7 of Thomas Connery. It looks like they were able to get back to 1 wide. But the 7 of Connery, huge run on the 32 of Springer. He's going to look to his left side, side by side here on the backstretch. Nope. Is he clear? Yes, he is clear, side by side into turns number 3. As the 7 of Thomas Connery occupies the inside of 32 of Mike Springer to take it away from him. And they are fighting for 4th place position.
Well, these guys want to do the best they can to finish out the season on a good note here. We are now 5 laps to go here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Here at the Children's Dream Racer Cup Series, brought to you by Anarchy Motorsports and brought to you on the Ray Broadcasting Network live on YouTube. And these guys are battling it out here, going back up front to our race leader, the 8 of Randy Arms. He's got a little pretty comfortable gap there. He's got about a half a second over the 4 of Baldwin, as we are now 4 laps to go.
7 of Thomas Connery gets loose exiting turn 4, was in the grass, but is able to get back out onto the track and unharmed, and did not involve anybody else. So that was a great job by him. Right now still getting up to speed to try and regroup after that big mistake, and that's the biggest mistake you can make with 5 laps to go, Dave, is have such an incident like that. That decreases all your speed. And going back up front, Dave, the 8 of Randy Arms is pulling away from the 4 of Downton Baldwin. The last time we checked, he was 0.3 seconds behind him, but now it's gone up to 0.7 seconds. Downton Baldwin getting loose. Wheelman, he's still able to hang on to it. Great job by him. He does have the 32 of Mike Springer behind him, but so far there's quite the gap in between them, so he does have some breathing room.
Almost definitely, as he now crosses the start-finish line, putting us at 2 laps to go. Next time around, he will take the white flag. Here is the 4 of Dalton Baldwin, is now about 8 tenths behind him. Got to make up that ground here, as it looks like he's still losing some ground to the 8 of Randy Arms here, as he's now a second behind him. As Randy Arms brings it here into turn number 3. He brings it down right next to that white line there. Takes it out to the wall here, coming through the dogleg. He is going to take the white flag. White flag is out. White flag is out as these guys are battling here on the last lap. Looking at the difference here, it looks like Randy Dalton Baldwin has moved it down to 8 tenths, but does he have enough as they are here on the backstretch pushing these cars over 200 mile an hour?
The 8 of Randy Arms unchallenged brings this thing home, exiting turn 4. Let's see, that's 182 plus miles an hour, crossing the start-finish line to win the championship. And behind him is the 4 of Downton Baldwin finishing in 2nd place, the 32 of Mike Springer in 3rd place. And Craig Embry coming out in 4th place here, Dave, and also the 57 of Barry Hines in 5th.
Well, Sean, that means the 8 Randy Arms, who is 2 points behind, Got some points. Oh, I'm not sure. Is he? I think he will be our season champion here. I'm not for certain here. Let me get some confirmation here while we get ready to do some race interviews.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to interview the top 3 finishers, the 8 of Randy Arms, the 4 of Dalton Baldwin, and the 32 of Mike Springer. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we do have the top 3 finishers up here. That's going to start from the bottom to the top. The 32 of Mike Springer. Got a copy, Mike?
Yeah, I gotcha.
How you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm heartbroken. Bummed out. That's close, but no cigar there.
Well, Mike, it was a hard fight. You did put on quite the hard fight tonight, starting in 3rd place and still being able to finish in the top 3 in 3rd place tonight. Well, tell us about your race overall tonight, Mike.
It was all right. It's really loose setup, so you had to adjust to that. And then I don't know what happened with me in the 58. I don't know if I got into him or if he got into me, but he didn't say anything, so I guess maybe it was my fault. Once that happened, something was bent, so I had to wait, fix my car a little bit later. But came back through there, and then I was gonna stay out on that last run before that caution, but they would have got to me. So either way, I think I finished where I was gonna finish. Yeah, it is what it is. I'm bummed, but congratulations to Randy and Dalton. Awesome season, you guys.
Oh, I hear you, Mike. It's been a very amazing season with all you guys fighting for that championship and fighting for all those positions left and right, just battling week after week. And tonight, Mike, did the car meet your expectations? Because the track tempo was very, very high.
Yeah, that's why it was really loose. I would have liked it maybe a little bit more snug. But when I had the damage, it did the opposite. It was really tight. There was something bent in the right front. Right front tire was just wearing out way more than the other tires. So I wish it was loose at that point. But yeah, these loose setups, man. It's that dirt driver Randy. He's got it down. So I got to get better. But they've definitely helped me pick up my pace this season. Happy with that. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Oh, absolutely, Mike, and I am glad that, despite you having all the problems with the right front wearing out more than every other tire, which was affecting the ability of your car to handle better into those turns, you're still able to finish in 3rd place. And Mike, after racing this season, is there anything you think you would do differently to better your performance, or maybe everything was done right?
No, I'm happy with the season. I didn't expect to really contend for the championship, and then I had some momentum there at the end of the season. It led me all the way to here, so I'm happy with it. Like I said, I picked up some pace because of these guys. They're fast, so you gotta learn how to get faster. So that's what I did. I got faster this year, so I'm happy with that.
Oh, absolutely, Mike, and nicely said. And you have done a great job. You're an amazing driver. The 8 of Randy Arms' biggest mission 2 races ago, I believe, was to keep you behind him. And by the looks of it, he did accomplish his goal. But you still did put on a very hard fight and did not make it any easier on him or any other driver out there. I'll probably let you go, Mike. Any final words or shout-outs you'd like to give?
Yeah, thanks. I want to thank my girlfriend. She's awesome. I love her. So hi to her. My buddy Jared watches all the races, so hi to him. My mom, my stepdad, my dad, everybody that watches. My sister watches. So just throw it out to this last 6 weeks. Let them watch it. And they said they had fun watching it. So, and thanks to them, and thanks to Simhorse Racing and letting me throw it on my car. Yeah, thanks to you guys for broadcasting these races. Else in the league, I had a lot of fun racing with everybody. So.
Mike, we do thank you for the kind words, and once again, congratulations on your 3rd place finish. It's been a very long, amazing season, race-filled, battle after battle, every single second. We put our eyes off the track. There's always something new out there, so it was very amazing to call a race with you guys. We do thank you for the kind words. Once again, congratulations on your 3rd place finish tonight, and see you later, Mike.
All right, thank you, and congrats to Randy.
That was a 32 of Mike Springer, the 3rd place finisher, but right behind him, or in front of him, is the 4 of Dalton Baldwin. Got a copy, Dalton?
Yeah, I got you, bud.
How you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing alright. Little disappointed, but it happens. It's racing.
Oh, absolutely, Dalton. You did put in a hard fight tonight. You had You had the pole qualifying time tonight and also finished in second place and most likely led the most laps. Well, Dalton, tell us about your race from your perspective, buddy.
It was a hard race, especially after that first really long green flag run. I felt like I had the best pit strategy the whole night. Typically, just before that one caution came out, I was about to pass Randy, but we were about to make our second round of green flag pit stops, and I think that would have put me on fresher tires going into the run to the end. But the caution came out, and then we were kind of in a little bit of a fuel mileage race, and I knew Mike was trying to save fuel, so that's why I tried to short pit to get the fresh tires and gain that time that I was going to lose on him back. And I'm pretty sure I was going to end up catching him. He said he felt like we were going to catch him. Based on the times that were happening, but then got hung up with a lap car there. I'm not sure what happened. I haven't looked at the replay. He came out of pit road with 4 tires, and I tried to let him go on the front stretch and into turn 1, and then I don't know, we got together. I don't know if he got loose or if I came up or what, but we got together coming out of 2, and it was pretty much over from there. Once you get that kind of damage, it's hard to really repair it and still be fast. I was kind of amazed I was still able to get into second place and kind of be close to Randy, but with that damage, it made the car a little bit tighter, and it wasn't gonna compete with Randy. We were too close the whole night. It was a really loose setup, and that really suits my driving style, but it really suits his too. So, we were constantly around each other and battling for position, running similar lap times the whole night. So, really, once I got back and got that damage, it was kind of over from there. But it was still a fun race, and it's more than just tonight. It was a 6-race chase, and there were other races and opportunities to have gained the points. So I can't blame it all on tonight. But it was definitely a fun chase, and fun racing with Randy and Mike for the championship. And Randy did an excellent job tonight, and winning the championship. Congrats to him on that.
Oh, absolutely, Dalton. It's been an amazing season, and you guys have put on quite the fight out there. And for you, what I brag most about every single broadcast, every Tuesday night, is the one time you went from 4 laps down, you got your laps back, and you stayed competitive in one race. I believe that's Phoenix, if I remember correctly. Is that Phoenix?
Yeah, that was the Phoenix race that I was somehow able to do that. It was a lot of luck getting the cautions to fall my way and being the lucky dog and get the wave rounds and all that, but still, it was pretty, cool to me to come back from 4 laps down and have some pretty cool races and comebacks like that this whole season. It seemed like most of the season I was typically racing from behind. Some of that was my own doing. Some of it was just, getting in bad positions and everything, but it was a fun season all around. I really enjoyed racing with everyone. We have really good drivers and really great competitors, and it's really fun to race with all these guys. You get a lot of different skill levels, and it's an extremely competitive league. So I definitely had a lot of fun this whole season.
Oh, absolutely, Dalton. It's definitely been an amazing season. Well, Dalton, before we let you go, any final words or shout out you'd like to give, buddy?
Yeah, I like to, always shout out to Children's Dream Racer, awesome charity. I always, push anyone to give them a look. They do a lot of great stuff in children's hospitals and stuff. They like to put a little kind of, a replica of a real life race car in there with video games in it, and it's really cool for kids to get to come in and play these video games when they're there. They're sick and they're dealing with a lot of stuff, so it takes a lot off their mind. So that's definitely the bigger picture for me is promoting them and trying to get them all the help and support I can get, because it's really awesome when we put one of these dream racers in a hospital and you see these kids have a lot of fun and get to when they're in the hospital and not having a good day and they don't want to be there. It puts a smile on their face. So definitely a good charity to go look at and support. I know for a fact 100% of the proceeds go straight to helping put the dream racers in the hospitals. Everything's volunteer. No one takes any of the money. So it's a really cool charity sport, and that's why I put them as the title sponsor of the series this season. You know, I run them on my car, but also. You know, I like to thank Advanced Auto Parts and BG Products and Snap-on Tools for helping us out. They're great companies. I definitely support them, and I like to thank you know, the league admins and the drivers and you know, all the members for, you know, constantly being, you know, professional and putting on a great race and a great show every week and being competitive and everything. And then you know, thank you guys and everyone for tuning in. You know, it's a great broadcast, and I, you know, really enjoy having these races broadcast for, you know, my family and friends to watch. So thanks to everyone, and congrats to Randy on his championship.
Absolutely, Dalton, and we do want to congratulate you on your second place finish in tonight's race and an amazing battlefield season, this whole entire season, and also your determination and courage that you've you know, you're not giving up in these races, and it's always paid off in the long run. You finished in second place tonight, even though you had a tight car. You're very loose. You were sideways more than, I should say, 5-6 times in tonight's race, and you were still able to come out of that and still finish in second place. Oh, it's been fun. Dalton, have a good night and a good rest of the week, buddy. We'll look forward to catching up with you later on.
All right, thanks, Sean. You too.
Well, that was the 4 of Dalton Baldwin, but we do have the 8 of Randy Arms, our seasoned champion. We just got that confirmed. 8 of Randy Arms, the champion. Did you get a copy, bud?
Yeah, I got you, Sean.
How are you feeling, buddy?
Oh, we're feeling pretty good now.
I can only imagine, Randy. Your biggest mission tonight was to keep the 4 of Dalton Baldwin behind you, and you did that. Tell us how well were the last couple of laps there from your point of view?
I'll be honest with you, I wasn't sure which lap we was on there for the last few. I was just looking out the windshield, and I wasn't trying to watch my mirror. I was just waiting until my spotter said it was over, and I just tried to run clean laps. The car was really good. All night long, really. These loose cars, they really suit me well. So anytime we get a car that's on edge, I always feel pretty confident that we can run up front and possibly win.
Oh, copy that, Randy. And Randy, before tonight's race, you were ranked 3rd in points. You were able to overtake both the 4 of Baldwin and the 32 of Mike Springer by winning the championship. Tell us what contributed to your success throughout the entire season tonight, buddy.
I mean, we're just I feel like I'm really consistent. I mean, I don't win a lot, but I'm always, you know, top 3, top 5, and it seems like if you can stay up front, you can put yourself in these situations at the end of the year, and then you just gotta give it all you got there, you know, at the end, and that's what we did. Was able to come out on top. Me and Dalton, I felt like we battled all night long. I mean, we were just so equal, and I knew. I thought if I could get out front, I'd be all right. And I had to use a little bit of pit strategy there on the first green flag stop just so I could get out front. And I was able to pretty much stay out front the whole time after that. Besides a few cautions there, but other than that, it was a really good race. Just want to say congrats to Dalton and Springer for a hard-fought championship battle, and yeah.
And Randy, after having quite the season with these guys, after learning their driving styles and learning who to trust and not to trust, do you think there's anything you would change to maybe better your chances again, or to maybe have better chances or even more chances for the next season?
Sometimes in the regular season, I'll be a little bit too conservative, and of course when you win you get some bonus points for the chase. maybe next year I'll take some more chances and try to get some wins. That of course helps in Chase this year. I don't think I had a single win in the regular season, so we went in there a few points behind starting the chase. But yeah, I mean, other than that, we completed almost all the laps. So just try to win more, I guess. I mean, of course, that's what everyone tries to do, I guess.
Oh, absolutely, Randy, and that is a great goal to set. After being with these guys for this long, this whole season, you guys been doing a great job around each other. You guys respect each other, and that's really good to see. It really brings out the best racers out of you guys, which is very amazing. Well, before we let you go, Randy, any final words or shout out you'd like to give, buddy?
Yeah, I just want to thank you guys for taking on the broadcast there about halfway through the year. Thank the league for putting this on. Thank all the guys back at the shop and whatnot. Just thank all the drivers that were here every week to make this league fun. I mean, we got some really good guys out here, and if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be able to race every week.
Well, Randy, once again, we do want to congratulate you on your win tonight, but most importantly, we do want to congratulate you on winning the championship, as it was not easy to do, because we have seen you guys you had a lot of stiff competition out there, but you were still able to bring the championship home, regardless. Well, we do want to congratulate you once again, Randy, and we do look forward to catching up with you later on. Have a good night, buddy.
Thank you, Sean.
Well, that was the 8 of Randy Arms, and that does round up or sum up all the top 3 interviews. The 8 of Randy Arms, the 4 of Dalton Baldwin, and the 32 of Mike Springer. Well, Dave, I'm very speechless. It's been a very, very fun season. I'm glad to have been a part of it, to broadcast the whole entire season until seeing it through until the very end. These are very amazing drivers out here racing the A cars at these tracks. These cars are way faster, way more powerful, which means more responsibility and more skill required to drive them. And these guys do show all that skill out there when they are driving it, because they do make it look as easy as every other driver who's driving the trucks or the B cars. I'm not saying those cars are easy to drive, but I'm just saying it does take a lot of skill to do what these guys do. I did enjoy seeing all those green flag pit stops. I've enjoyed seeing a lot of side-by-side action in tonight's race, but not only tonight's race, but throughout the whole entire season. It's been a pleasure to be a part of it. What about you, Dave? What's been your highlight?
Well, Sean, you pretty much summed it all up right there. But watching these guys all season, watching drivers learn how to these drivers race each other. I mean, this is a good group of guys, a great league. They put on a great show. They have a lot of respect for each other. I mean, it's just an overall great show. And once again, I would like to thank them for bringing me and you on, so that we can bring this to fans from all over the world here live on YouTube. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is our broadcast for tonight. So for Sean Zulu, Dave Everly, I want to say thank you for joining us. And definitely, this is a new channel, so hit the subscribe, hit the like, as I'm sure there will be more coming to Dre Broadcasting. Ladies and gentlemen, you all have a wonderful night, and we will see you next time.